Ladies, gentlemen, MBs, welcome back to League of Legends for Valpo Esports here. I'm your host, Dakembe. I'm here with my co-host.
Hi.
I mean, hey, it's a little bit of a rough start, but we are hopping into it here as we do have Valpo on blue side, AU on the red side here. Valpo going with the first three bans of Fiddle, Kale, Swain. We know they like to run that in a lot of their draft comps.
I know that they banned that against AU in the past and won, so copying their bans.
Yep, definitely. I mean, it worked, so might as well do it again. And I mean, AU throwing two bans towards the mid laner. You have the cast, the Nico, and then the ban towards Zac as well. We do have Snacky Vengeance in here today for our jungle instead of, our usual Vector. So having that Zac ban is really important. Um, we're gonna see who they decide the first draft here. Go with the Ezreal. Okay. I mean, you can talk about the matchup a little bit, right? You play that bot side. Seeing that Ezreal into, we know AU likes to play that Sivir or Ashe, as they do lock that Ashe here, or they do lock Sivir here, excuse me. And then picking up the Nautilus as well. What's this matchup kind of looking like for Ezreal?
It's kind of easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so for Ezreal, you can do a animation cancel on Nautilus hook. So when he
Mm.
hooks you, you can frame jump so
Oh.
that he doesn't actually hook you, even when he does land the hook. So if Jacob or if Dreadful knows how to do that,
Hmm.
then this is a super duper easy lane because you can see Nautilus are coming from like almost a mile away, and
True.
it's kind of
It's
simple.
it's kind of like the interaction, how I'm hearing it, of like Tristana W and Hook to where you can buffer it. Got it.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
also,
So, oh, sorry. So he shouldn't really be getting hooked, and then Sivir can spell shield one Ezreal Q, but there he can spam those, so it might save her like in later lane of like lethal damage if she plays it right, but I don't see it stopping poke too much.
definitely. I mean, in Valpo as well, I mean, talking about poke, picking up the Braum as the answer to Nautilus as well. Now you have a lot of counter engage, a lot of disengage on Valpo's team comp. And then finally, going with the R3 Wukong, picking it up. We know Snacky likes to play that a ton, offers a lot of team fight, offers a lot of, especially armor stacking if we're going against, a Sivir that likes to um, kind of scale over those two items. And then AU with their third pick going the Udyr. We know this jungle likes to pick up a lot of like carry jungles, a lot of jungles that can be a little bit more self-sufficient, excuse me. So having the Udyr picked up definitely gives them a little bit more freedom in the jungle, especially against Wukong. Definitely a lot of different build paths you can go. So against an armor stacker like Wukong is, the AD or the AP Udyr definitely does work here. Um, AU picking up fourth ban of Syndra, making sure Jakimbo just has as many limited options as possible. Valpo banning the Camille as well. I have a feeling Valpo is gonna try and throw a couple bans towards any like true damage dealers to offer up a little bit of freedom for Anaya in that top side, especially knowing that AU likes to flex that Malphite mid. Um, and one of the answers to that Malphite mid is the Silas mid, so AU is gonna just ban that out right now, especially knowing that Jakimbo's been playing Silas like really, really recently. And we're gonna catch here who Valpo does decide to throw a fifth ban to. Yep, it will be Malphite. After seeing that Silas ban, you kind of just have to get it out the way. You can't risk a quick R4 here from red side. We're just gonna check it out. Taking their time a little bit here, but I think you need a little bit of a control mage at least in this mid for now because you have a lot of engage, you have a lot of scaling from Sivir. The hardest part I think for your team is you need someone to Udyr or someone to play around Udyr, and there's that Vygar cage. Definitely a lot of layered CC, someone that can follow around in that jungle, um, and gives a little bit more scaling to the side of AU. Valpo now having the counter pick for mid lane, but forcing the blind pick top side, um, they have to be careful about that Gwen, right? Because Valpo wants to pick up probably some kind of tank here. You have a pretty good disengage comp, and there's the tank pickup. Yep, there's Ornn. Um, just trying to be as safe as you can. Probably will be a rough matchup, right? Because blinding into AU, especially knowing that their top laner does play a lot, you are going to use that advantage, right? You have the blind pick top, so your mid's going to be able to get this counter here, and it's either Asol or Tilia. They're just flopping around a little bit here. Honestly, I like the ASOL better. I think ASOL is the pick here. There we go. Valpo blue side does pick up ASOL. Uh, no way. No way they're gonna pick up Akshan top. If they pick up Akshan top, that's beautiful. I'm honest, I'm really interested. They might just lock this.
Kind of bizarre.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I mean, it's a crazy counter pick. Like, don't get it twisted. But also, like,
If he doesn't know how to space, it's kind of over.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. All right, we had our fun. They picked up the Gwen. Um, so now, right, we talked about it. Naya's probably going to be on a weak side again this game, but honestly, I feel like she plays on an island a ton, right? That's where she's strongest. So I have faith in her for this matchup here. But I mean, Orion to Gwen is just going to be a bloody lane. Um, although Valpo, you had the blind pick that top side, you do get the counter pick mid here, and you picked up the Asol, who arguably scales a little bit better than Vigard does, a little bit faster, and honestly safer, right? Especially when you have a Nautilus, when you have an Udyr that's going to roam a lot, you don't really want to be pushing out too much. So having that kind of safe lane to be able to scale for your team is definitely, what Jakimbo needs. But I mean, Marceline, you got to talk to me here about this bot lane matchup, right? Because we have the Ezreal Braum, we have the Sivir Nautilus, and it seems like a very like rock paper scissors kind of matchup here. I mean, who do you think comes out on top? Who do you think will have priority over this lane?
Well, as the bot lane extraordinaire of this stream,
Mhm.
uh, like I said, Ezreal can really just get around Nautilus, and the Sivir could probably stop some lethal damage. But if Ezreal autos her, he's at ADC at the end of the day, so that's still gonna be like massive damage.
Mhm.
And Ezreal is weak early, so if like I feel like the best case scenario for this bot lane is I feel like AU's bot lane is kind of in a losing situation at the moment because the Braum like not only can defend but he can jump to Ezreal, so Ezreal could teleport out after hook and then Braum could jump to him, just completely negating any engage.
Mhm.
And so I also think Ezreal, just competitively speaking, is in a very good spot overall. Like he's probably the strongest ADC in my opinion,
Mm.
just with like itemization and his safety and just the raw damage that he can output with try. Um, and then with like the Sivir pick, I've always kind of like even when I played ADC, always felt like Sivir is just like jack of all trades, master of none kind of character,
Mm.
where she doesn't do anything like exceptionally better than any other ADC, but she can kind of do a little bit of everything. Like she's a safe pick with her spell shield. She has some range with her boomerang, and she has good wave clear. Her wave clear might actually help her against the Ezreal because when Ezreal is shoved under lane, so um when Sivir like I think maybe early they'll do okay into Ezreal Braum because they can kind of push them under their tower, and Ezreal isn't the best when he's pushed under tower just because he needs LOS to attack. So if the Sivir just uses her superior wave clear against Ezreal and kind of keeps him under tower for the beginning parts, I think she could get some good poke off and maybe poke him enough to kind of like kill him. But Braum will also be there defending, which will make it kind of hard.
Mhm.
And this Nautilus, I feel like honestly, the angle for Nautilus here, if I was playing this Nautilus, is I would hope that my Sivir kind of stays shoved, and I might try and get Jakimbo early,
Mhm.
and with my Udyr, because Vigor can still output a solid amount of damage at like almost any point in the game, because it's just Vigor things.
Yeah.
You're more of a mid lane knower than I.
No, definitely. Vigar's best thing is just that passive scaling that he gets because, yeah, he could be like 2, 7, and 9, and at one point just one shot ADC. Like that's how control mage scaling mid lanes go. But no, I definitely agree with you, right? You have the Nautilus Udyr Vigar, who is a really strong kind of three-man combo that you can walk around in jungles, take a lot of prio with, and Sivir being the safe pick, like you said, with the spell shield and things like that, can kind of play on an island just how Ezreal is. So the biggest thing is that AU just can't let Valpo take a lot of pressure mid and take a lot of pressure around these objectives early before AU can get their scaling going.
Well, I'd
Um,
say Valpo is also very hyper scaly with Ezreal. Ezreal scales infinitely better than Sivir.
hmm I just feel like Ezreal has a really, really strong early game as
Ezreal
well.
does not, in my opinion.
You think so? Okay.
You might like, but it's just more like Ezreal's the weakest in his entire life at the very beginning of the game. Like his damage is quite low. Without
hmm
Sheen, he can't really do too much. So he needs that 700 gold power spike before he can really do much.
Got you.
So like Sheen is like his bread and butter really, and
Okay.
without it, he's just really weak. Like he's
Okay.
throwing wet noodles at the enemy Sheen until that happens.
Got you. Got you. Okay, that makes sense.
Like there
But
still is outplay potential there
hmm
with like in a fight if they play it right. But I would definitely say the Nautilus is stronger than the Ezreal Braum in the first couple of levels, or at least until Ezreal gets Sheen.
got you. Got you. I definitely like. I can see. I didn't know that about the Ezreal, but I definitely can see the Braum being a little bit weak because Braum kind of relies on his kits from level like 1, 2, 3 and
Hmm.
onwards. So until he gets a couple of points in those, it becomes a little bit tough. At least you do have his passive though for early fighting. Um, But I mean, Valpo has the ASOL mid, right? And we've kind of seen just ASOL take over a lot of these games, especially 20 minutes onward. So
Hmm.
it's gonna be just up to taking that mid prio. I feel
Yeah.
um, like you said, you're gonna roam around a lot trying to catch out Jakimbo early in this game. So he really has to kind of play wave states a little bit more careful, play underneath. Ornn's gonna be on an island a little bit here up top,
Yeah.
but nice thing is you kind of pick the Orin to be on an island, right? Until
Exactly.
until he can join a 5v5 team fight with his ult, he has a lot of impact there. Um, you have the upgraded items. You have like the passive scaling that you get. You're a lot stronger in lane. You can build things in lane. Um, it's definitely like an island pick, and I think that's what Valpo was looking for.
Yeah.
Um,
And then the other thing about the Nautilus roams is I feel like the Nautilus just has to roam like once to like three times mid lane, and
mhm.
then hopefully Sivir will keep that a prio in bot lane, and so that Nautilus could actually kind of play some mind games and play in bushes far back, and making it like our bot lane unable to call out if the Nautilus is there or not, making Jakimbo have to play completely differently and more safe in like a way that would be kind of detrimental to his play style, make his
Yep.
CS lower just because he can't go up because he doesn't know where Nautilus is.
Yep.
And then if they probably want to hide the Nautilus really, like Nautilus probably wants to stay hidden like this whole game until he hooks because then that way you can kind of bait Ezreal into TPing forward
Mhm.
and then catch him out thinking when he thinks he has the Sivir's alone. So I feel like this game is kind of like the mid to bot lane situation is kind of dependent on how well this Nautilus plays, and our jungler is always.
Yep. No, I definitely agree. But I mean, as we wait our 2 minutes out here, spectator delay, we will catch you guys after the break to take a look at runes, take a look at summoner spells, and just see overall how this early game goes.
The Summoner's Rift.
3, 2. And we are back, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, to game one of our Valpo Esports League of Legends. We're just seeing here pretty basic runes, right? We see the PTA in the bot lane, going the Arcane Comet mid, Grasp, and then on the side of AU, you have the First Strike, Lethal Tempo, all honestly pretty simple runes, right? Not really much, not really anything special here. I feel like. Um, Neither any invades or setup. Looks like
Minions
they
have
were trying to
spawned.
plan to counter invade, right? Setting up around that red side, being careful for that Nautilus. But looks like AU's just not gonna go for anything there.
Yeah, no, I would for sure say this bot lane, this Ez versus bot,
Ooh, ooh,
or Ez versus bot, is very dependent upon. Oh my god.
dude, he's hitting that. Hold on.
Oh my goodness. But like, it's really dependent if Ez can like buffer the E hook with Nautilus. Like, if he can't do
Yeah,
that, or if he doesn't know about that, there is no dimension that this is gonna go well for him.
yeah,
Because if he gets hooked, then it's like any other, like mobile-less or
yeah,
lack of mobility champ.
yeah. We definitely just have to have trust. But I mean, also, I mean, talking on that point, we have to be careful levels 1 to 2 almost. If he goes E second, right? That level 1 catch out is just going to be a little bit rough if he doesn't have that jump
Yeah.
away.
Also, something we didn't talk about at all is that they went 3 melee into Braum.
Yep. Yeah. Braum, I feel like Steamroller is going to have a field day here.
Yeah.
Especially with that passive. It's going to be a little bit insane. But,
Mhm.
I mean, you do have the cool start on Sivir, right? Which is pretty basic,
Why did
right?
we start on Ezreal? Why wouldn't you start
We did
Cole?
start
Huh.
we did start the Dorans. They're going for a little bit of an advantage. Taking a couple of trades in this top lane as well, getting as much
Got
as you
to
can.
first, but
Yep. Fighting for that too. Gets a little bit of chip on the Nautilus, but Sivir's going to trade
I
it back.
definitely think Doran's late hero is a bit of a bad call. Because this is going to be kind of a farm lane.
Mhm.
And especially, it'll make sure that you don't get to your...
We're seeing here, Braum does get the 3 jump. Trying to bait out that E forward, but not going to be able to get anything here.
It does make sure that you get to your Sheen a lot slower than if you had Bull, which is kind of interesting decision.
Definitely. No, but we're seeing, I mean, you are going to get this shove in early for Valpo's side, and the mid lane is doing mid lane things where you sit under tower and hit E as ASOL. It's gameplay. I mean, if you have to wait 15 minutes to get your gameplay, but hey, that's how mid lane is sometimes. You do have the level up on bot side here. Um, Pretty even, but taking an early CS lead for Valpo's side. Having a little bit of pressure there.
Sivir really isn't pushing like she should be in this case. Maybe she's a bit scared of our jungler, maybe she's a bit scared of the ASOL roams, but either way, maybe Braum's just pressuring well.
I mean, speaking of jungle, you do have AU's Udyr and Gwen pathing down that river, trying to look for an early fight maybe, but not going to be able to take anything. You get topside scuttle.
This Knot has
Take a
yet
little
to
bit
hook
of
into the
pressure.
enemy team.
Yeah, I think he's just a little bit spaced out right now by that Braum. It's going to be a little bit rough, especially when Braum has his abilities up, but we might look for an early gank here as that wave starts to push forward.
And it looks
He
like
did
they're going
show a
out of...
little bit here. There's the stun and the jumping as well, the flash from Anaya. Going to be able to jump away there.
It looks like now bot lane is out of sync.
Yep.
Really bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, Valpo forced them to at least take an early back now. So having that Nautilus back, being them out of sync, might be able to just try and
Tower
time
dive.
up, but
They really can tower dive here with Snacky in their jungle.
mhm,
Hopefully they call for that and do that here.
definitely. I mean, they're trying to get this wave shoved in right now, but I mean, we talk
Oh, Nautilus
without
letting go
items,
Snacky.
Ezreal wave clear is a little bit silly. And we do have the smite out as well. Nautilus trying to defend a little bit here in their blue side jungle as Snacky does invade in. You do have the Udyr there now and the pull as well. Snacky trying to walk back out. Seeing
Oh,
this,
the
there's the ghost as
stun.
well from Udyr walking in. The stun gets the ult out. The flash from
heal.
Snacky and the heal as well from Jakimbo, or from Dreadful gets the flash back out of Nautilus. And that's just going to be a little bit of a fighting trade, but no deaths going down there. You do pop the ghost out of Johnny, and you get the flash out of Snacky, but other than the other flash from Keith, not really much going on. You do see here, I mean, Anaya's just trying to take those short trades with Grasp, get the grass proc off and walk back, but it's gonna be just get a little bit rougher, especially in these upper levels. But Ornn's 1 to 6 is insanely strong. It's like deceptively strong in my opinion, because you have that unstoppable, you have the percent max damage, so at least taking as much advantage as you can.
Yeah, it's all you cast in top lane. I've never ventured up there.
Trust me, sometimes it's not fun, but uh,
I played
going
Lilia
pretty well.
top and
You do see Gwen did get the early back here. Wave shoved in, trying to force Anaya to stay a little bit here. She is going to probably stay just for another wave or so, trying to get this uncomfortable wave shoved back in.
Udyr's
Fix the
gonna go for
state a
the
little bit
gank
here.
again and she has no
But yep,
flash.
here comes Udyr. The dash away as well. Gonna still have ult, but here comes the ghost as well from Gwen. It's looking a little bit rough, and there's gonna be first blood for Anaya in the top side. Just maybe stayed a little bit too long there, right? It was a little bit of a rough wave state, so you kind of had to. But
Hard
unlucky. Nice thing is though, Anaya has pulled so much pressure off this top side here that you are, so much pressure to this top side here that you are going to have that first dragon go to Valpo here, pretty uncontested. Udyr is going to trade a little bit jungle in blue sides, blue, but otherwise it's going to be first objective to Valpo here.
My instinct as a support player is to clear the wards, but I can't clear the wards.
Mm-hmm.
I see where they are. I need to get rid of them.
Yep, no, especially looking at the mini map, you just check all the
Yeah,
words.
it's so sad. Free gold.
Free, what is it, 5 gold?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, free 5 gold.
It's big gains in the support economy.
Honestly, yeah. Hey, you gotta get all you can. If you're not getting kills, what else are you getting? You can get minion executes. And Nautilus is gonna walk up here trying to execute it, but it doesn't get it, as Steamroller will pick up the first kill with the ignite.
Oh, that's quite bad.
Sivir using the shield, forcing the flash out as well. Still going for a little bit of a trade here, hitting 6. And bot lane's not going to take this pressure and probably use this into a play, already up by 20 CS.
If I was Braum right here, I think I would probably venture up to mid lane, try and make a play.
The rough thing is that when you are trying to roam like with this comp that Valpo has, you are roaming with an Acel. So it's like Acel already doesn't want to fight. He doesn't even want to go in, so it's a little bit rough. But it looks like AU is just gonna try and prioritize the spot side.
Mid.
Yep, he is gonna walk up mid here. Because it looks like Jakimbo's trading a little bit here, flying over the wall there, gonna pick up this bot here. Yep, and there's the path up. You don't have Jakimbo TP, so you're actually just forcing him to sit in the spot side. You're gonna force Dreadful go back mid. Might see an ultimate mid just to catch a little bit of the wave before it crashes, but otherwise just a funky rotation coming from Valpo, but it looks like it's gonna work for now. And there's the second objective. There's Rift Herald going down to Valpo as well. Snacky picking it up.
Dodges the hook.
Just a quick sidestep.
Yet to hit a hook.
Hey, we all have those games. we all have those games.
Play a fun game at home. Every time Nautilus misses a hook.
No, but I mean, walking down the spot side here, just gonna stabilize these lanes again. You do have a little bit less of a CS lead down the spot side right after rotating up for that Rift Herald, taking that mid. You do lose a wave or two, but he's gonna pick up a lot of it right now. Still hovering around that 20.
And Ezreal does have Sheen now.
Yep. I mean, mid lane wise, both these people doing really well to farm up, get these waves. Vigard doing well with his Q stacks, trying to just get that passive going. And then top side also, other than like the early ganks that have gone on, Anaya has done a great job of staying, staying very even or a little bit ahead in CS with this Gwen here. At least trying to stabilize this lane.
Where's he going?
He might be trying to hover, but
figuring it out.
Yeah, he's
cooking. But it might get his Sivir killed. His indecision.
You have to be careful. Lucky thing is you don't have Snacky hovering around here, so this dive is a little bit rough. Nice thing, like you talked about, you can put Sivir on a little bit of an island, as we do have an engage in this top lane. Excuse me. Gonna get that knockback, but you can put Sivir a little bit on this island because dives are insanely hard against Sivir to hit. Oh, and dashes right before the pillar. Gets the W off and the dash,
Oh,
but it's not going to recast as there will be a solo kill in this top side. Just a little bit of a miscalculation with when that pillar would jump up. And you do have the cover here as well, dropping that Rift Herald. The Ghost coming out, trying to jump up. Braum blocking a lot. There's the ult as well, gets the knock up on Sivir. But here comes Aso, roaming down as well. Snacky jumps in. The E trying to walk in, and that's first tower down bot side. Again, no kills, but just at least getting first tower. It feels like Valpo deciding and kind of winning out on these rotations here. A lot of the times just being a little bit quicker on the timer than AU is going right now.
Aesol has enough for Rylai's, which is actually I feel like going to be a huge buy because that slow is brutal for non-mobility champs, and our team is, and their team is kind of full of them.
Yep. I mean, it's definitely a rough pickup, but now going with the Rylai's rush, probably going to be looking for. If I had to guess, it'd be Leandry's this game. I think Leandry's is just the move here, especially when you're stacking that tier already. You'll have enough survivability with the staff, excuse me. So you don't really have to go that rod. Although you do see the early rod pickup from Vigar
And once
on the
again,
side of
AU
AU.
isn't testing drag.
Yep. And I mean, Snacky already rotated over, taking second drag there. And here comes Valpo as well, looking for something in the mid lane.
Oh,
Dolph
Nautilus is
getting
caught
caught
out
out
for
a little bit.
sure.
Yeah, Nautilus jumps in. It looks like he will go down here as well. Snacky picking up the final hit there.
Nautilus is was kind of a big proponent of their victory in our thoughts in the beginning, and I feel like he isn't really living up to what he needs to do in this moment. But also Sivir hasn't been shoved, so it's kind of made it hard and impossible really for him to roam this game.
It's been a little bit rough because he just hasn't really been able to find that angle to jump in at
Exactly.
and set up his team. So we might see a little bit later in this game something going on, but for now Valpo's taking a lot of initiative, a lot of priority in these fights here. I mean, a couple of things you have to be careful. It looks like AU's looking to collapse a little bit here, but one of them showed too early. It's going to force Valpo to back up in that mid lane. And Aya being dashed out, and now just having to wait it. There's the ult coming out from Gwen as well. Walking back, hits it, trying to get this knock up here. Gonna be able to hit that knock up. You have to be careful though, that is 3 topside. They might look to dive this here, and Aya's just gonna force the back up. There's the ult, not gonna be able to hit neither the Q, and the ignite goes down on Vigar without picking up a kill.
Gwen is also a brutal tower destroyer with her snips, so it's kind of bad whenever she gets free roam.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about right off cast that tower damage might be a little bit of an issue for Valpo, and although they did pick up that first tower with that quick like 4-man rotate, we're seeing now you need somebody to match Gwen in that side lane. And you have Aesol to pick up the waves, but tower damage wise, it's just gonna be rough to step up into her. I mean, pretty stagnant so far. Right, we do have
32. We have 2 drags.
Yep.
That
So
I feel like will be the next big fight.
Valpo definitely winning on the objectives here, but the gold lead, I mean, you look
It's only 1,000.
Exactly, low gold numbers right next to our kill counter there. It's only 1,000 gold difference, so gold being probably the most important thing in this game. Looking for Valpo at least to take a little bit of priority. Walking up, flying up. You do have the ult as well coming from Aesol.
Oh,
There's a stun and the hook as well, and the knock up. trying to throw the ult back out, gets the ult back out, the ghost from Udyr is not going to work, and here comes the turn from Valpo as well. Snacky missing the knockup ult. The ult
Oh,
from Dreadful being able to snipe in the backline.
oh,
Gwen did
huge
TP
hook.
in though, dashes in. Gwen is immune, trying to snack out Snacky Vengeance. The Locket coming in clutch here. The flash in from Ezreal gets the double kill. Gwen ult trying to do something, the knock up from Braum. So hard to hit, tries to get that, the cripple kill. Looking for the Quadra, clean auto E, auto Q auto there from Dreadful. Pick up that triple kill, and that's going to accelerate him a ton as Valpo uses that fight to pick up mid lane. I mean, we were just talking about how the game was being stagnant, and then we have a huge engage there.
And it just goes to show how much better Ezreal's scaling is than Sivir, just with how much more he could do in that fight.
I think it was rough too because you kind of had a ton of peel for both Jakimbo and Ezreal, right? Because obviously
Yes.
the fight wasn't meant to start by Valpo. Jakimbo looked like he almost got caught out there in that mid lane,
Yes.
but that upgraded ult, that stun, and then having Snacky and Braum both jump in to peel
Save
for him a
them,
little
yeah.
bit. Yep,
Beautiful,
it was
beautiful stuff.
huge. Not only to mention, you allow Anaya to get back her lead in that top side, right? Because she didn't have to rotate back for that fight. Winning that fight was huge, really, for all sides of
Got
Valpo.
her CS up again.
Yep,
Nice and
exactly.
close to Gwen. It's huge stuff. And Gwen is no longer matching Anaya, which is, I feel like, not what should be going on.
Mhm.
Because to this Gwen, I feel like Ornn is just free kills.
Yep.
But
No,
to a
it's.
Veigar, you're not getting through that tanky man.
Mhm. No, and especially now going with the Radiant Virtue. Oh, okay. Going with I haven't seen this Ornn build before. Um, it. Then again, I'm not exactly up to date on Ornn, if I'm being honest. So this might be.
Braum gets caught out, but the TP makes them pull back.
Yep. You're gonna force. You do have 4 bot side here. Vigar's still top side, but he does have the TP, so Anaya's just gonna start walking down in case a fight breaks out here. There's the flash in the ult, not gonna be able to pick up anything, but the Aso ult following up behind picks up one. Jakimbo kills the Nautilus, the flash out as well. Trying to get something. Braum still following up. The E and Q away from Ezreal. Gonna chip, and that's gonna force pressure off of this dragon. Third dragon, most likely going to Valpo. I don't think AU's gonna contest this.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, now she's just all gonna walk back top. Anaya
gonna
getting the
upgrade.
first item upgrade.
Is it on?
Is it not gonna show us? Wow, it's not gonna show us. Unless she was just building cloak. I think she was just building cloak.
Ah.
But
Yeah.
no, as we start to get into these item upgrades, there's a pull in under tower. Braum jumps in as well. Tower aggro still on that Rift Herald, doing a lot of damage. Tower almost going down here. You have to be careful. In this bot lane, Jakimbo gets through the whole of the Gwen ult and now is going to try and walk back and trade. Gwen has to just run away. I mean, like you said, I think it was just not the best idea to try and swap who's matching who. And there's Braum walking up, and you're just seeing now Ezreal has Triforce, gonna have that Mirror Mana soon. It's just really, really tough for them to even like step up into Q
Sivir's
range.
only at 1 item.
Yep.
He's got to build full Mira.
Yeah, no, I mean, Ezreal's sitting on 3 towers, right? 2 of them being split. But,
And we said before we were worried about tower damage, but I feel like Ezreal does a solid amount of damage to tower.
I just, when I refer to that, I mean like split across the team.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
when you have a split pusher like Gwen,
It's kind
and
of
when
hard.
you have,
No, for
yeah,
sure.
that's kind of the worry that I had. But I mean, Valpo's taking a lead here now with 4K gold. You're not really worried about that anymore because you have at least enough damage to match. Excuse me, my voice just cracked like I'm 12 years old. Now, this is like the split push that you're worried about a little bit here because who on Valpo?
She's gonna
if Ja-
demolish that tower.
Exactly. If Jakimbo's in the fight, it's rough for Anaya to try and match this. Who is going to match this? And this is just going to be an objective bounty going to AU. That's gold in the pocket. Yep, and there's the bot tier 1 down, hitting that objective bounty, but you are clearing a
Gwen
lot of vision.
unfortunately scales very aggressively. She's
Yep.
kind of a mini KO.
No, definitely. It's going to be rough. I feel like
Nautilus getting caught once again.
Nautilus having a rough time. Trying to clear out a little bit of vision here, get a little prio during Baron, but that pick is going to be a little bit rough.
I
As you
just
see
think he made
Valpo
mistakes not
rotating,
hooking in
and
early.
yep, here comes Valpo starting up this Baron here. Still see the Gwen bot side. Both have TP,
Oh,
Anaya and
Chunks
Gwen.
Orn.
But honestly, I don't think AU can even stand with this. Trying to just get a steal, but there's the smite. And that is going to be Baron to Valpo here at 20 minutes. Going to be a really early Baron, but 5k gold lead up. Gonna see what's going on.
I do feel like if Orn comes any further out of that tower, he's just gonna get demolished by the Gwen.
Yeah, this is the rough part, but now we're seeing the Ornn upgrades go off. You have the Radiant Virtue, just trying to help yourself a little bit here. Get the Primordial Dawn, and once these upgrades start coming out for Valpo, I feel like with the gold lead, with the objective leads
It's
that
gonna
they're
be
taking,
brutal.
yeah, it's gonna be really, really hard for AU to come back into this game. You have Soul Point as well coming up here.
Even the fact that there's only one shutdown on the enemy team and it's on one of the most slippery characters in the game, I feel like that will also be difficult because usually the way back in is shutdowns.
Yep. No, but I mean, it's going to be rough, and now Valpo, using their vision control that they have, going to be able to catch out, almost baiting a little bit here, trying to walk up, see if Braum can pick something here, and there's the mid lane, the Q out from Nautilus and the flash as well. Braum's still walking up, looking for at least an ult maybe. Not going to be able to get it, but they are going to take this wave, and I think they're just going to try and push this. You have to be careful, though. Udyr is coming from the backside, trying to just proxy their wave a little bit here. Yeah, stop their push. They're not going to try and fight it, but you
even
have
with these three, I think it might be endable. Not endable, but like looking like it's the beginning of the end for AU.
You have to be careful though. You take a look at that top side. You have Gwen still.
True, and I would be careful about breaking inhib so early.
Yep. No,
that is a way back into the game.
Valpo is given at least a little bit of opportunity here, but I would rather them at least make a play with this Baron rather than kind of just sit around with it.
No, it's not that. It's more just like I feel like the mistakes they're making right now is letting Gwen split push and taking that inhib.
Gwen is definitely going to become an issue. She has so much gold under her pocket right now, especially with the objective bounties that they have.
Yeah. You want to break all the outer towers first, and with Baron, that's the play you want to make here, because breaking inhib is a way back into the game.
Yep.
Because you don't want to push for inhib unless you are going to end the game. Otherwise, it's really just a big mistake.
Gotcha.
That's why I'm kind of concerned. Because now Sivir's going to be eating these super minions, getting nice and strong, getting her level, you'll probably see her in a couple minutes now being equal level with Ezreal, which she wasn't even close to before. And if Nautilus stays in that mid lane, he'll probably get his levels up too. And the amount of gold Sivir's going to be getting from these super minions might also help her keep up with Ezreal.
Yeah. I mean, that goal is really rough here, right? You just have to also consider, right, Valpo still does have a ton of objective prio. You still have that Baron up, or excuse me, not that Baron up. You still have that Soul. So while Valpo has played this really well, I agree with you where it's like you're giving AU a lot of resources here that you really shouldn't.
Exactly, and you also don't want to get the inhib if there's no other objective up. Like, yes, I would understand getting it if Baron was up or if Elder was up to use it for pressure, but this inhibitor will probably be up by the time Elder and Baron are up again.
Yep.
So there's really, like, it's creating no helpful pressure, and it's just really bleeding resources. Like, look at the gold, it's only 3k now.
And we're seeing Sivir here being able to mine in this mid lane here as they're trying to just match this top lane. Wave clearing as fast as they can, slowly Valpo chipping this tower out. They're going to be able to kind of tell, it's like if Sivir goes off map, they're going to look for some kind of fight, but Jakimbo just being able to trade, push this wave, and I think it's his job now to try and match this Gwen a little bit. Valpo's team fighting is strong enough without him that I feel like they can still hang in a fight, but it's still a little bit of a detriment to have Jakimbo try and match this Gwen.
Without him, the wave clear is a bit hard because Ezreal doesn't have the red thing. The red thing with Tiamat. It builds
Tiamat, yes. Ravenous.
Yeah, he doesn't have Ravenous. Yes. Yeah, so his wave clear isn't going to be the best.
He doesn't have the red thing. True, honestly. But no, I think it's just a detriment if you try and put Ezreal in the side lane at this point. You have so much. You have your 2 item spike. You have upgraded mirror mana. You have upgraded mythic item with Ornn now. Um, it's just way too strong to be like outside of team fights. I mean, Nautilus hooking away here. Valvo playing the pressure game, trying to clear as much vision as they can.
Sivir is now
Trying to
equal level with Ezreal.
trying to stop backs here. Yep, Ezreal does just finish off his. Oh, he finished the 3rd item and then he didn't. There we go. He sold it. Undo, sold again. There we are. Ezreal finishing his 3rd item here, having the Seraldas.
That'll make him be able to kite people into
Yep,
waves.
that's gonna be insane, especially into someone like Gwen, who's gonna just try and run down you on the bot side with that ghost. Having a little bit of
Sivir is now
slow under your
higher
belt.
level than Ezreal.
hmm Yeah, they are splitting a lot of XP with him though. That was the kind of play where you match 3 topside and then you have Sivir go and farm in that mid lane, trying to just get as much XP as you can. But now it looks like Baron coming up. They're gonna clear as much as they can and go for this Baron. They did send a Naya bot side to match for it, prioritizing Chikimbo being in this team fight here, and also just to melt Baron. Oh, we do have a client mess up here. Excuse us. There we are.
Alright.
It looks like, I mean, pretty easy Baron steal. Sorry about that, folks. But we didn't miss much action, being honest, as Valpo did just take Baron. Taking a couple of waves here. Gwen not going to be able to push much. Taking their final backs. Probably going to pick up at least another blasting one here. Maybe an item for Jakimbo, we'll see.
I say they could 1-3-1 or 5-man mid and end, honestly.
I honestly, I think, I think the, I think the 1-3-1 is the play here because you still do have a split pusher.
True.
But
Or
yep,
you could 1-4 and then just have someone match the Gwen and keep her off while you end, because she'll have to come back as you're trying to end, because they need her damage.
Yeah, true. I mean, now though, you have 3rd item Jakimbo, you have the Archangels, or now you have Seraphs, and the upgraded Leandries. I think Valpo's gonna finish it out here.
No, honestly, I think Elder into 5-man is the easiest way to end the game here. And just as long as Jakimbo saves Tifi for Gwen backdoor, I think it'll be fine.
Honestly, it's like Valpo's fishing for something here now. You have the upgraded ult on Asol. I think now's the time to go for it. Couple of pings going off, trying to see if maybe we can catch one person doing vision here, as Valpo is just hovering these bushes around this bot side. I mean, man, they're looking for something. Not sure what it is, but they're looking for something, as Elder Dragon is in 10 seconds here. You have the Ezreal walking up. There may be, if they can just catch someone out, they pick up Elder and move.
If they go in and Gwen TPs onto that control ward, I think that'd be kind of huge. Like if they engage.
They do have a deep engage there. Gwen probably looking for something, but they don't have any vision over this Elder yet. They're gonna have to walk up and check it. And there it is, they move in. There's a huge ult as well. Anaya's ult coming in, gets a couple knock up. The Braum gets one as well. But it's an Elder stolen by Udyr. They pull it back out, the ult from Asol, and that's a huge melt. That's 3 going down,
That's
4
game.
going down, and that's an ace. Although they did pick up the Elder, it wasn't enough, as the triple kill from Jakimbo, and then 2 as well going to Ezreal, and that's going to be game 1 going to Valpo here against AU. Just gonna have to see him end it out, but I mean, overall, we're just gonna see him kind of walk it around
The manual
and finish
way.
out this. Yep, sorry about that, folks. And they're just gonna finish out this game. Not gonna be able to get anything there, as Valpo finishes out pretty clean.
Yeah.
Only a couple of like
Mess
early
ups.
game Yeah, only a couple of like mishaps going on, but overall like pretty clean game from Valpo, honestly. Um, but we're seeing now, we will take a short little break here, and we will hop into game two of Valpo versus AU series.
Oh, hi.
Ladies, gentlemen, and MBs, we are back now. It's still your host, Ikembe, but I'm here with a new co-host now. The support from last game, Steamroller 14, Eamon. And as we hop into our first draft here, Valpo keeping the same bands, AU also keeping the same bands. Um, I'm getting deja vu here because we're picking the exact same things. Valpo is on blue side again. Valpo picking up the first pick Ezreal, and then AU picking up the first pick Sivir.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you were support last game, right? You saw almost it's this exact same draft. What
Yeah,
what's going through your head here?
Braum. Oh, no
Okay,
Braum.
I mean, I
They
feel
just,
like I'm going insane.
Valpo just had to ruin it.
No, Brom.
No rundown.
Our caster from last game, Marceline, is actually now the support in this game. So it's interesting to see. Just kind of she was talking about this matchup last game, what she wanted to take into it here. And it looks like it's gonna be the Janna pick. Okay. So you
The,
have the Janna.
the issue is with Janna's before level 6 Nautilus can like land a hook and kill you,
Mhm.
but with Sivir there's not much follow-up damage.
That makes sense. Um, and then picking up the yeah, I mean, other than the new Janna pick, we're just drafting the same things. If they
I
draft Udyr
I'm
again,
thinking,
I'm losing
yeah,
my mind.
Udyr.
I'm losing my mind. Oh, okay. All right. Get interesting a little bit. We get our first Briar pick. Our first streamed Briar, if I'm not losing my mind here. Yeah, it is our first Briar stream. Welcome to the crew, Briar. We're gonna see a new kit, gonna watch a couple of interactions here, and I think the biggest interaction Valpo has to be worried about is just don't fight her. Just don't fight her early. I mean, the nice thing is they did pick Briar into Wukong, an armor
And
stacker.
Janna.
So yeah, might just be trying something new here today, but hey, AU, I respect it. Just go balls to the wall, pick whatever the hell you want. Honestly, at this point, you
Yeah.
gotta do something new. So, gonna pick up that Briar. Bands looking pretty the same. Excuse me for the clicking, my fault. But AU gonna throw an Ornn ban. They
That's very interesting since
uh,
Ornn
A
wasn't really the issue last game.
and ASOL is still open. Um, I don't know what AU was doing there, but hey, they're doing it. Pick it, in the horn, and now we're gonna pick up the Vex mid lane. Okay, a little bit more roaming potential,
A lot
I'd
more
say.
dive on their side
Yeah,
now.
now you have the Briar Vex combo. You're not gonna be able to tell which ult is which, because they're literally the same ult. But now, um, at least you're gonna have a lot of like flash engage. I feel like Valpo being forced again with the Vex pick to blind their top side, gonna blind the Scion here.
It would
Um,
be pretty funny if Jakimbo picks Yasuo and just wind walls both Briar and Vexel.
but
That's
honestly,
not gonna happen, but
yeah, I think Talia is the pick here. I really think Talia is the pick
oh
here.
yeah,
Um,
both Vex and Briar just show up stunned
yeah,
with their ults.
Nautilus Q also goes through stun, or also gets stunned when he Qs. Over like Talia E. I think Talia is just too good of a pick here to kind of pass up. Especially considering Talia E W or Talia E, excuse me, stuns Briar W, Briar Q, and Briar ult.
Yeah,
Briar is useless against Talia if you play with Talia E, right?
yeah.
Obviously, Briar lasts a little bit longer than Talia E, so it's kind of just playing cooldowns, but
The
it
only
becomes. It,
the only issue is Valpo doesn't have too much damage. Like
mhm.
they have poke, but it's up to like Wukong and Ezreal or if Talia gets ahead to actually start dealing damage.
Hmm. That makes sense, yeah. And I talked about last game as well. I was worried. I think this draft solves it a little bit here, but last game I was worried about the split push and I was worried about just kind of tower taking in side lanes and things, right? Because you had the ASOL to catch wave, and you had the Ornn for team fights and for upgrading items and things, right? But it was really tough to kind of apply pressure if you weren't three-manning, four-manning a lane. So with
Yeah,
this draft, now you have the Scion top side, which again, this is a Valpo game. Anaya's probably going to be playing on an island here, right? But now you have her perm scaling top side. We know Anaya's great at pushing those lanes, side laning, applying pressure. Um, it, it's called the faker taunt, but like pulling three, four people her way. So now you have that kind of side lane pressure, and I think it opens up a little bit more for Valpo. But like you said, you are lacking a little bit on the damage.
yeah. The important thing to watch is what happens bot lane before 6, and what happens top lane. If AU full commits to one of these lanes, like if Nautilus is landing hooks pre-6 onto Janna, that lane can bot lane can be very unfavorable for Valpo,
Hmm.
especially if Briar now roams down there.
Yep, definitely. I think Briar getting kind of that pressure, that early lead, it's going to be rough, especially when um, if you apply pressure to those lanes, right? It's a lot harder for Wukong to try and match that.
Yeah,
Um,
especially if when Vex hits 6 and
yep,
Briar and Vex are just sitting bot side.
just perma ulting.
Yeah,
Because
it's
I mean,
very
it's
Ezreal only has one E, so
exactly. It's like they're both coming off screen.
and
So,
Nautilus can just press R on Ezreal and then
yep.
double Vex and Briar ult.
No, definitely have a lot stronger of a dive here. But I mean, as we hop into the in-game client draft here, we are going to take a quick break in the spectator booth here, and we will catch you guys at the start of the next game. And we are back, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs for Game 2 of Valpo Esports League of Legends versus AU. Take a look at the runes, take a look at the summoner spells. Seems all pretty normal, honestly. Yeah, excuse me. You have the PTA, you have the first strike, and otherwise, we're gaming, right? We are gaming. Just a
Yeah,
5-man split.
Nautilus is hanging out mid,
Funny. They're
loading.
hanging out.
I do say, as
Ooh,
as
ooh.
someone who likes Nautilus, I feel Glacial is just way better. On most supports, Glacial is just with
Gotcha.
CC is just way too good.
It's,
Slow in the damage reduction.
it gives damage reduction?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. If you stand in the ice, it reduces your damage.
I never knew that. Huh.
That's why it's crazy good.
I thought it was just, yeah, I thought it was just slow. Okay. Um, so no, right? Speaking of that, you did go the aftershock first, and we're seeing Briar start that wolves as well. Maybe looking for a 3 camp here.
Yeah, nothing much is gonna be happening until these junglers hit level 3 and move to a lane.
Yep. Pretty solid. Just start. Oh, and there's the hook early as well, hitting level 1. It's gonna force a heal out. There's the level 2 as well from Valpo. They're gonna take some early prio here.
Valpo just didn't fight for level 2 bot lane and had to burn 2 sums because of it.
And I mean, gonna take a little bit of pressure off of AU now, getting a better start than they did have last time.
Briar is also here.
Yep, Briar's sitting in that tri-bush here, has the blue buff, has to be careful. Here comes the Nautilus and gets the E out, tries to go berserk, will take a tower shot here and go pretty low, but nothing's gonna come much out of that. Do have to trade there. Vex getting the shield off, gonna be able to mitigate a little bit of that damage there, but there's a double knock-up as well from Janna.
Yeah, just laying down some poke. Lane.
Yep. There's a shot, I mean.
The Briar gank did not burn any flashes, so Valpo will still be very safe in this lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Ezreal has flash up and E, there's just nothing that can really get him early game.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, outside of the jungle, coming to lanes, I don't think we're going to see much here. As you do
there
see a
could
couple
be.
pings going mid lane.
Yeah, Briar is
Oh,
at
jumps
ramp.
over the wall as well. Gets the dash and not going to be able to knock back though. He will take the trade. Briar still over the wall on the Raptors.
Yeah, if that W did hit Talia, Talia's W did hit Vex there, that could have been a flash burnt mid lane. Briar is now hovering around mid because Talia is low on mana, but grab emote. Yeah, nothing much this early game. As we said would probably happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, taking a couple of trades there, still do have the Nautilus. There's the hook in as well though. The Janna being able to counter engage. Gets the PTA proc, but Sivir being able to just take a couple free shots there.
Anaya is getting behind on CS, but it is Darius versus Sion, so not much that can be done about that.
The goal is to try not to die. And,
Yeah.
I mean, because the thing is, if you just don't die to Darius, and obviously if it's not like a 30 CS lead, you will permascale. You will outscale. So you kind of just have to play that lane very, very safe.
I do wish we could see the secondary runes. See if Darius is running sorcery second for the enhanced ghost.
Hmm. Makes sense. You do have level 6 hit by Anaya there. Darius trying to walk around. Gets the flash, but the flash to stop the E as well. Doesn't have the ult, and that's going to be first blood going to top side here. I think I jinxed it, honestly. A couple shots. Going to take a little bit of a chip there, but Darius is just going to be forced to clear this wave.
AU is currently on the dragon.
Yep, and there's the flick as well. There's going to be the flash going out. Vex really low here, and if Valpo wants to fight this now without Vex, they can. Here comes Talia jumping in as well. Gets the smite, but the smite's too early. Briar finishes it off. Gonna die for it though. First kill going to the bot side for Valpo.
Yeah.
Nah.
Wave. Not much else to say about what happened at that dragon.
Yeah, it's a little bit funny, but pretty basic early game, honestly. You kind of have to get used to as a Valpo caster that your early game is going to be a ton of scaling. It's not going to be much fights except for like one bot lane fight. This is kind of just how you play the game, but it works. You can't complain when you win. So
Yeah.
no, I mean we're seeing it's a rough thing because you see they gave Valpo back the Ezreal, right?
Oh, Briar's getting caught out topside.
Oh.
W's over the wall. This auto spectating does not want us to see any action.
Yeah. We do get to watch Janna walk in river though, and Vex back.
And Briar's getting almost caught
Ooh,
a Baron pit,
Raptors!
and it showed Shanna farming a ward.
Awesome. Dude, this is action. But no,
Oh,
we do have
nice
a good
cancel.
choke, but a great cancel from Janna. It's not going to turn into much.
That is the issue as Nautilus. That Janna and like Renata, if
And we're seeing now the top side just trying to get as much as you can. Gonna be just rough trying to walk up into this top.
Wukong is currently on Rift Herald, we do not need to see that. We need to see
need blue
Briar
buff.
on blue buff.
Briar blue buff, baby. Let's go. Bot lane. Woo!
They're
These
not even
bushes are
ogling.
awesome. Awesome. And we're seeing, yep, a couple of ping. Hey, the other team recognized Wukong was doing Rift Herald before our spectator client. This is awesome. Wukong is going to finish up this Rift Herald, though, as Briar's just going to try and invade and take this jungle. Yep, and there is Rift Herald taken to Valpo. Talia looking for maybe a flick here. Gets the smite off.
Oh,
Going to get it. There's the dash as well. The flick backwards. The E is going to hit, but it's still a positive trade for Talia.
Nautilus walking up here.
Yep, and there's the hook as well. Janna's still in the river. There's a little bit of an engage. The E going back, trying to get out of Sivir's range here. Walking back, the spell shield's just going to go off. Going to miss the Q there, but more of a positive trade for AU. Tries to hit the WQ, not going to hit.
The Rift Herald was secured for Valpo, so we will have to see where this is placed. Most likely bet is bot lane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think honestly they might just try and make another playthrough bot side here.
Yeah, it looks like what Valpo wants to do is break open this bot turret and then allow the bot side to rotate to mid lane and pressure that turret.
Looks like it. I mean, you have a really even mid side here. Or excuse me, you have a really even mid matchup at least.
Yeah, both can farm like Both can wave clear and then look for roams with their ult.
Yeah, both can engage literally right off of off screen, honestly. Oops. Yep. And I agree with the move here, going the Ludens over like the Leandries or other thing like that. You have pretty squishy enemies right here, other than like obviously the Darius and the Nautilus. But even then, Nautilus is like a pseudo tank in my opinion. That makes sense.
Because sometimes you're like, oh, here comes Briar, engage on mid. Oh,
Yep. He gets the flash out, trying to dash in, takes one more tower shot. Snacky being able to
Anaya
engage
TP'd
the
in.
flash as well, and the knockup from Anaya. Gonna pick up the double kill for Snacky, and they are gonna walk to this drag here.
Yeah, the Briar was hovering. That back cancel, that Jakimbo canceled Vex's back, made sure that she did not have a mythic, so they were up a whole mythic for that fight.
Yep.
Oh, Briar ult coming mid, misses.
Yep. Not gonna hit there. And it looks like it will be just first drag for Valpo. I mean, you had Nautilus walk up and try and ward it just to get vision, but they did have the red ward down.
Yeah. Briar is here,
Nautilus
another TP
walking
in
back
from
again with
Jakimbo.
Briar. Are they looking to fight this here?
Yeah,
It looks like
Darius
they
is
are going to
walking
try and
down.
collapse this. Yeah, there's the flick as well. Nautilus going down,
Down.
gets the ult. It's not going to go off. He dies first. Here comes
Vex ult
Vexel.
onto the Wukong clone though.
Yep. It looks like just a travesty for AU right now as another chip goes out. Gets the flea off, so the Talia Q's not going to hit. Almost getting it, but I think the Talia Q's just going to run her down. As that's another kill for Chikimbo.
Yeah, these fights are not going in favor of AU currently. And since Darius had to walk down, since no TP, it gave Anaya the shot of getting 2 turret platings.
Yep. Gonna at least try and even out this lead a little bit here. Sion just gonna hit the E. The ghost has popped off, trying to just tank tower, gonna walk around.
Oh, Briar is moving up though.
Yep. Just going for the wave at this point, yeah. Just try and farm as much as you can. Gets killed here. Gonna run back, pick up this wave, try and get the proxy off.
Yeah. We did see that Darius does have sorcery second because when he used his ghost, he got the Nimbus cloak proc.
Got it. Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense. Ghost is one of the strongest summoners in the game.
This Darius, if he gets on top of like Talia or Wukong, it's very hard for them to.
There's a knockup as well from Talia. There's the Q hitting as well. Oh my goodness, that's a ton of damage. Jakimbo gets the solo kill mid.
As you said, that Luden's doing work,
Yep.
allowing for.
It swerves the R in the top side. That away. Where is it right on by? Tries to catch that. Ooh. Dancing on him in the top lane here. I mean, hey, if it works, it works. We love to see a little bit of camaraderie, at least in this top side here. A couple of emotes going off, but
Yeah.
otherwise, in lanes, I think this is gonna be a Jakimbo takeover game. I mean, you're sitting 4-0. You have a lot of
Vex
pressure
is
now.
looking for
Mid.
something bot side though, same as
Ooh.
Briar. But Briar
Okay,
does not
we might have
ult.
the double ult.
No,
Oh,
Briar does not have ult.
that makes me so sad. I mean, not actually, because obviously it's against us,
Oh,
but
Briar is actually rotating mid.
Briar looks like they're gonna catch it there. I mean, if you see Briar mid and you don't see Vex, bot lane has to assume something's going on here, right? And there's the hook as well, and the E buffer,
And the Vex
Vex
ult.
miss. Oh man. Oh man, it's so terrible.
Yeah, and Jakimbo uses this time that Vex used trying to make a play bot side to take turret.
It's tragic. No, you have the shield off. Darius now trading, but it's really hard to try and break that
Oh,
shield for
Briar
Sion.
is now ganking.
Yep, there's the ult as well. Briar in this bot side gets knocked back by the R from Janna. Trying to do as much as they can. The Q hits up.
Q.
Huge knockout. Here comes Talia though. Huge
Oh.
flick. Another kill. Almost hits the second Q, but the ult from the backside. Ezreal picking up the double kill. Oh my goodness.
Very well played. That Janna ults managed to get both Nautilus and Briar off of Ezreal. Very well played. And the snipe ult by Dreadful.
Yep. I mean, after clearing out, and that's so much damage just off Q1.
Yeah, oh my. This
try and
Talia
walk
is
up here.
completely taking over now.
Yep.
And with the ult cooldown, you already used last fight almost a whole third of its cooldown gone.
Yep. No, I mean, that last fight was so nice. Oh, here comes the flick as well. We'll see if he can get out of this, but it's not going to happen as the Q2 hits off, gets that pickup kill for Jakimbo.
Yeah, playing into this Talia E is very hard to do.
Yeah. That's why I was like, this game is such a Talia angle. It's so insane.
There's only 2 champions on the enemy team that do not dash, and even it's very hard for them to get past the Talia W. Yeah, not much is gonna happen. Valpo is probably gonna set up for this dragon, summon Rift Herald mid, get more pressure.
Yep. There's a shot as well. We're gonna just pick up anything here.
Oh, Rift Herald summon.
But they do have dragon up. It is objective bounty. It's objective bounties across the board for AU here. So they have to try and pick up something. First thing to drop probably will be that topside tower, but because of that, Valpo's going to take a lot of pressure in this bot side here.
Yeah, I'm wondering where this Rift Herald is going.
And there's second dragon, or third dragon technically, but second dragon for Valpo.
Yeah, AU just didn't contest because this Talia can just
way too strong.
Control any choke.
Yep.
Here's the Rift Herald mid.
I mean, we're gonna see here. They're gonna try and push this. Probably get a charge on tier 3 here. Already starting off trying to clear this wave. Yep, walking back. There's the chip as well. The flick, but the spell shield from Silver is saving her.
Oh, Darius is looking for a flank. Valpo's just gonna fall back.
I mean,
yeah, this.
There's a shot off. Trying to hit the ult, but Darius Ghost will walk in front and block it. Gets the slow. Trying to walk up. There's the Q. Not going to be able to hit the ult to finish off that combo though. Just a not hit dancing. It's the little victories. It's the little victories.
This matchup is going to get a lot worse for Darius since there is no Black Cleaver rush and Anaya is only rushing armor currently.
And there's just a huge flick as well. Gets the double flick. Talia looking for something, but here comes Briar. A good peel by Janna though. Getting knocked back, especially with the ult, and here comes another flick, and there's the kill. Yeah, nobody can walk up to this Talia anymore. Because, I mean, you're sitting with 3 champs that have to dash onto her. Or not have to, but 3 champs that can dash onto her.
Died again.
Nautilus goes down. She's just going to take this inhibitor. If you're Jakimbo, you just now run this game. You have 2. You went second item Rabadons, right? You know you're going to be fed.
Probably has like a whole nother item in base now.
No, yeah, definitely.
Baron is spawning, so Valpo can look to take that.
Oh,
and
here comes
game.
Darius. Not gonna hit her. I mean, Darius doesn't have any magic resist either, so Talia is still gonna melt through him as well. Less so, obviously, but still.
Yeah, it's just very. I feel like this Darius can like obviously win lane against the Scion, but it's gonna be very hard for the Darius to actually use that lead
Yeah,
you got in lane to help win this game.
yeah, definitely. We're seeing Talia now just run down.
Vex
She's
half
still,
health by like half a Tilia
yep.
Q.
They see Briar as well. They're gonna try and clear out this wave here, proxy it a little bit. Gave Anaya that tier 1 gold. Let her finish this one off, be able to push that Baron wave in, probably go and try and take a tier
They
2
are
here.
sacrificing tier 1
Oh,
bot
and here
side.
comes the Ghost as well. The E buffer trying to get the stun out, and here comes the counter engage from Jakimbo and Snacky. Getting the knock up, getting the flick back, and that's going to be a kill on Briar. Rough game.
Valpo could look to end here. It
Yep.
is
I think Valpo
a
should end here.
4v3. Yeah, this Talia should just
Yep.
one-shot anyone who...
I mean, you still have Darius bot side. You have
Yeah.
the tower, but it looks like they are going to hesitate a little bit here, let this wave clear. They're just letting Talia hit. And they are
I
going to
think
back
they're
it
going
up.
for the top tier 2.
But the issue is just that wave is just shoving in way too hard.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of probably miscommunication, a little bit of hesitation on Valpo's side there. Not going to be able to finish this game off as you are sitting at a 12k gold lead
Yeah.
at 21 minutes. And there's a huge flick as well. Talia having, Jakimbo's having a fun game. It's nice to see him back on Talia. Oh, and there's the ult as well. He was trying to bait out, like, ult probably, looking to flash in front of it, but Anaya does ult way too fast.
Yeah, and then Naya just goes back to the
Yep.
next wave and pressures that tower.
Yep, because you see
Oh, here
Darius
comes
now
Vex
rotating back.
engage, and there's the
Janna ult.
Oh,
But here
the
comes this,
second global ult.
the E comes out as well. The Berserk going off. That's a lot of damage. Does jump in the middle. The ult picks up one. Kimbo picks up a second. Double kill for Dreadful as well. Triple kill, finishing it
Yeah,
off.
this
And
is
that's
the
going to be game.
best game.
Yep. You see, I mean, that was kind of the engage that AU was looking for. But with
But
the Janna and
They just executed it way too late in the game. They were already down 10k plus gold.
No, it was just rough for AU here, but that is going to be the end of our series. That is going to be game 2 finished up. That is 2-0 for Valpo against AU here. Pretty clean series, honestly. A couple of like mishaps went on first game, right? But this game was just insanely clean. You saw Jakimbo kind of just take over, or
Yeah,
from that 10-minute mark to the end of this game. So. I mean, that's. You have any final thoughts on it?
now just a quick 2-0 from Valpo. Very clean.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking at damage charts. We had the 27k from Jakimbo, and the next highest was
Just
12k
12k
with
from
Dreadful. So
Ezreal. Yeah, it's just
there's nothing more to say there, honestly. But that will be the end of our series. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for watching, listening in, and we will catch you guys at the start of our next game.